Hey man, you know what it is? Is that
Don't
is it recording?
change.
That ain't recording
Yep.
yet. There we
Yeah,
go.
it said
All
recording
right,
started.
guys. You know what it is, man. It's that You Heard podcast, man. Back at it again. You know what I'm saying? I'm Ben. I forgot my name there, son. Like I'm thinking about this conversation we're about to have, and I
We
forgot my
out
name
here,
for a
man.
second. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Look, man, we had to bring back the OGs, man. We got some things we want to talk about today, man, and we're gonna keep it all the way 100. What's going on, fam?
Yo, it's like dollar bill and players club, man.
Oh,
If you don't want to get shot, you should
yeah.
leave now.
Now this is gonna be one of those. Shout out to the Omar gift, man. Shout out to the Omar gift, man. This is about to be real. Hey man, as always, man, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, leave us reviews on wherever you get your podcast, man. Look up You Heard, you know what it is, man. Let's get into this intro and let's get into
go.
this talk, man.
Welcome to the You Heard podcast with your hosts, Ben and Joe. We're here to cover everything related to Miami Hurricanes football, including hot topics to pre- and post-game analysis.
All right, we'll talk about it at the end. We'll talk about it at the end.
No. Let's talk about this right now because you completely flipped it on me now. Yeah, I don't appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, what are we talking about, man?
I felt
Keeping it a buck. You heard?
Hey, man, we back at it again. Look, man, we're gonna do some house cleaning real quick.
Crowns.
Yeah, this is about to get, you know what I'm saying, heavy as the head, boy. You know what I mean?
Stretch a little bit.
This is about to be a heavy one, but make sure you got, you know what I'm saying, make sure you got your calisthenics in. Hey, man, want to welcome 2 new players to the U, man.
Yes.
Was it, you know what I'm saying, with 4 and 3 years of eligibility left. Y'all know how I feel about that, but you know what I'm saying? Was it from Nebraska, AJ
Allen?
Yeah, AJ Allen, and from Vanderbilt, Jadaeus
Richards.
Yeah, man. Welcome to the U, man. Hope y'all ball out and
come through, ready to work, ready to get it in.
Yeah, man. I'm saying shout out to Jadaeus coming in, understanding that that Coach Adai in 6 corners in the league this past draft. So he saw that and was like, yo, I need to go talk to him. Look, man, y'all heard everybody else's podcast. They broke that down and the analytics and their stats. We're gonna have a different conversation on today's show. My boy Joe hit me today, was like, yo, we need to talk about this. So without further ado, my brother, I'm gonna hand it off to you. You start. Look, y'all know we don't do the pod before the pod. Joe hit me with a topic. We don't know where this is gonna go. We're gonna keep it all the way 100. Our boy CB was like, "Nah, man, I'm out. Like, I'll holler at y'all in a minute." You know what I mean? Like, we keep it.
Put the Coke down. Put the Coca-Cola down. Put the cigarette down. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The monsters.
Put it down, man. Take it out. Throw it out. Snap it. You know what I mean?
The whole thing, man.
Nah, man, we want to preface this by saying, you know, we're not negative. You know what I mean? And I think I can speak for both of us. I'm going to speak for myself, but I think I can speak for my partner. We have full faith that our head coach is going to get this turned around. You know what I mean? Like, in my opinion, if anybody is going to get it turned around, I know he going to, on some 50 Cent shit, he going to get it or die trying. You know what I mean? He loves the program. He loves the city. And I know he loves the young men that are playing for him. You know what I mean? So we have no, you know, we definitely think he's going to get it turned around. You know what I mean? I'm more of I need to see it first. Definitely.
Facts.
But last year hurt. Yeah. And, you know, whatever. Last year's gone, though. Like, I don't talk about, you know, last year's gone. But some of the moves that we see, you know, you can see the moves that he's making. You can see, you know, how he's just going about his business. I'm blurry for some reason. I don't know why that happens. But there we go. He's going about his business like he's supposed to. And we definitely think it's going to get turned around. So let's start with that. But we have to have a conversation, man. Like, I posed a question earlier on Twitter or yesterday on Twitter regarding the transfer portal. Like, if a kid, Wholesome, my guy, if a young man says they want to come to Miami, but they need a starting spot and they need 500,000 racks, are we taking them? You know what I mean? Are we making that happen? Depending on the young man. And I was just looking for, some dialogue, looking for some answers, see where people's heads are at. A lot of fans think that Miami is Miami football is something we're not right now, son. You know what I mean? Like,
okay. I see what you're saying.
So the wording is, if they don't want to come to Miami, F them.
Yep.
We want people that want to be here, and no doubt, I get that. My question to you, partner, just as a thought, you know what I mean? What makes people think that we're an elite destination for young football players? Why?
Okay. All right. We go on. This is gonna be this could be literally the only question we talk about the entire our childhood, man. Like, you come to realize watching the pod and the people who interact with us, they're around our age group. Right?
Sure.
2000. Right? I'll tell you like this. Some older, right? The 80s, a couple years in the 90s, had the sanctions in the mid 90s. 2001 for the younger demographic of people who watch and listen to the show. They think we're still that. They think we're always on the cusp of being right back there, not realizing that the last 20 years also happened, right? Like, it's this thing where, like, and I had it for a long time. We're keeping it a buck. We're like, yo, I've seen how great we can be. What's stopping us? We not realizing the work it takes, the dedication, the years of recruiting it took to get that. You know what I mean? Like, the years Butch Davis had to put in to get that 2002 teams. It's because last 20 years have been so bad. We think, well, we're in South Florida. We got to get all the recruits. It's not. Those years are over. You got social media. You got NIL. It's hard when you've embedded yourself into one identity to being the most dominant and best and the greatest college football team ever in 2001, and not thinking that should just be every year, right? But son, like, 2001 is 22 years ago. You know what I mean?
So and that's the point. We've been bad longer than we were good.
Yes.
At this point.
Yes. We've like no shot. You know, you're my guy. Love you 100. We've been the New York Knicks. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, good. All right. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've been to a lot of people were like, we're right there. And I see a lot of similarities, right? Especially like this series with the Heat and the Knicks. I was like, yo, like, we recognize that torture because we've been them. Mind you, the Knicks haven't won in like 50 years, but like, we've seen what greatness can be. You know what I'm saying? We saw it, right? We saw it in Pasadena in 2000. We saw the greatest thing we've ever seen. And we want that again, right? So we think every time this guy doesn't come, man, whatever. Don't sound like we're not at the point anymore to be turning people away. We need a Tyrone Malone. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have zero depth at D tackle. We have young guys and very small guys at D tackle. They could run the Remember the Titans offense on us, and I don't know how we're gonna. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how we're gonna stop it. So when people go like, oh fuck him, we don't need him. Yes, we do, man. There's a reason why this staff was going after him. They know football more than we do. Like, we love football. We watch football. They get paid to eat and sleep football.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I saw the comments. I was like, I'm not going the back and forth. I was like, we'll talk about it on the show. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Is
Let me
it?
ask you. Let me ask you
Okay.
something. What do you think stops people from seeing the entire picture of what Miami's been? Like what Miami's really been, right? Like for real, not like what Miami was. You know what I'm saying? Because those are two different questions. What Miami was something different.
Sure.
What Miami is and what it's been are two different questions. What do you
See,
think?
I think they see it. They see it. It's like when you're in a toxic relationship.
Facts.
You know it's toxic.
Yeah.
You know it. You live it every day. You know it's toxic.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You've watched football on Saturday nights for the past 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen us lose to teams we shouldn't lose to.
Facts.
You've seen us get blown out and just look terrible. You've seen it. They've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
They know. But your pride won't let you go there. Your pride. You're from Miami, probably.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's my pride, man. This is my squad,
My
man.
city.
This is my whole
Yeah,
town
it's my
team.
city.
It's my city.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We have South Florida athletes who are the best athletes in the world. We're not supposed to look like this. You know what I mean? So that's all it is. They know. They definitely know.
Okay. So when I lived in South Florida, when I lived in Miami, growing up in Miami, most of my life, I left Miami twice. When I went to the Army, living in Hawaii, getting that different perspective, and seeing other football other than Miami when I went to Hawaii UH games, and when you see and you separate yourself away from it, which that was like 04, 05, where Miami was still kind of solid. You know what I'm saying? It was like on the trail, the last couple players of that 2000, 2001, 2002 cycle. So you still had solid players. You still had first round picks. You know what I'm saying? The Jerome McDougal's, so on and so forth. And you're like, yo, well, this is my childhood. Like, this is what it's going to be. And then you lose to a Clemson that has like some weird uniforms and they just blow you out, and it's in the Orange Bowl. You go 44-0 to Virginia, and you just see this fall, you know what I'm saying? And it started slowly, right? It started with not getting this player, that player. It started with not answering, not fighting back for certain plays. I can't remember the last time we had a comeback for like a big time comeback against a good team. And there might be one. I'm not saying that there wasn't, you know what I'm saying? But like to not see the fight and it's just see the struggle, and then you just like, yo, what happened here? Like, and then you go like, yeah, but this isn't what Miami's supposed to be. Like, I've seen what Miami is. Like, we had the South Florida athletes. They're all gonna come here. They're seeing what's happening, and they're like, what the young men are thinking. I was like, yo, but Alabama's turning. You know what I mean? Like, there's, you know what I'm saying? Like, Georgia is being different. Like, they're seeing more national programs blow up, and Miami struggle, and the politics and the fundraising and the fact that it's a private school and all these different things play against it, where you have, you know what I'm saying, where it was so many things happening, and then us still holding on to 01, 02. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Holding on to 83, 87, 91, you know what I'm saying? Like those years, because those are the years you see the passion that Rasta, David Franklin, you know what I'm saying? Like the people we've talked to, they have for this university. We haven't seen them win in a long time. 2017 was a long time ago. And if we keep it all the way above, those are 1-point wins most of the time against very bad teams.
It could have easily been the other way. Like it could have easily been, yeah.
Son, they beat a Georgia Tech team that didn't have a quarterback. They were starting on like a wide receiver at quarterback, and they beat them like 23-21 or something like that.
If it wasn't for Darrell Langham, we lose a couple of those games.
Yeah. Oof. So with you, I know what started this thought process, right? You've probably been thinking about it for a couple of days, but we've missed on defensive tackles, right? So you're more so approaching this, and this is a question. You're more so approaching this in the sense of like what perspective, or I guess I could almost say like entitlement do we think we have towards getting these players because of who we used to be?
That's
You know what I'm saying? Like, is that
that's exactly the word, entitlement. Why do we feel as a fan base entitled? Like, why do we feel like we're supposed to get everybody? Is it because we have Coach Cristobal now and he's a fantastic recruiter? Tireless recruiter, the staff, you know what I mean? The relationships he's built. But you know, why do we feel so? If you're a parent of a young man that is being recruited by Miami, other than the school is fantastic. The school,
facts?
Miami, is a fantastic school. Coral Gables, Florida, Miami, it's paradise, right?
Mm-hmm.
People go there to vacation. You know what I mean? It's a small private school. It's an intimate setting. I love the campus, me personally. When I go down there, I just walk around campus. You know what I mean? I love the campus. There was a dolphin on campus the other day, right? Swimming around. They got pictures up. They got video of a dolphin swimming around. You're not going to see that, no. You know what I mean?
No.
But football-wise, what am I telling my son? Like, what are you selling me? Like, development? Are we gonna win? If I've been winning for 4 years,
yep,
we gonna, you know what? That's all. Like, that's what I'm wondering from a fan perspective, from a person who supports this program wholeheartedly.
With all of it,
I think the expectations and the entitlement, I'm wondering, like, where does this develop from? Like, why do we have that? I just don't have a good grasp on why we have this.
So I'll say it like this. I don't think it's Coach Cristobal perspective or arrogance, right? Like knowing that he's one of the best recruiters and yada yada. You know the whole thing. I think it's been with every coach, right? You go back to Al Golden with his binders in the press conference, talk about when they go, why Miami? He goes, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
And we was gassed. I was like, oh, everybody was gassed.
Yeah. We're about to win everything. Then we see Cincinnati blow our asses out of the water. You know what I'm saying? Like, not that long later, like, who the fuck? What happened in the binders, fam? Like, it's the entitlement, man. Like, look, it has to come from we should be better, right? Like, this perspective was like we shouldn't be this bad, and you should be like. It comes from, and look, there's gonna be people who listen to this like, oh man, they just shitting on the fam. No, man, like, we're not talking about everybody. That's not. If you're looking at it that way, that's on you, bro. A hit dog will holler. I can't do nothing for you. Yeah, I can't. That if you feel some kind of way, that's you feeling you can't. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking in the sense of when people react to a Tywone Malone picking Ohio State, fam. Like, let's keep this all the way. Jason Taylor, Hall of Fame defensive lineman, right? Baller at Akron, baller at the Dolphins, was like a week with the Jets. Yep. And you know what I'm saying, Joe Salovea, solid. But if you looking at this logically, right, on some real shit, if you are looking at this as one of the hotter commodities in the transfer portal that Tywone Malone was, and Ohio State is knocking at your door, or until really right now, as great as his accolades and his resume is, hasn't been an on-field coach in Power 5 conference and Power 5 play, which is Jason Taylor. Don't know how he's really going. You know what I'm saying? We don't know how he's really going to develop. You just looking at it as a businessman, right? Because that's what this is. These are business moves that these young men are making. Mm-hmm. You're gonna go. Am I gonna go with Miami when I have a week to decide, or am I going to go with Ohio State?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If now the side that I have a problem with is coming in and demanding a starting spot. I don't want that kind of mentality. Because to me, then you're not working towards greatness. You just want it handed to you. It doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the side of it where like when that stuff comes out, it's like, oh, okay, I understand when people are like, oh, well, fuck it, we don't need you anyway. In that sense. Right? Because that was we thought we could go back to last year when we first started the pod. I hated that I saw the same 11 every week. Hated it. Like why are you still on the field, fam? Like it goes from 11 to 8 to name a number on defense and offense. Like, how are you still on the field? We got nothing better behind you. So the fact that you demand the starting spot, I don't like that shit. But the sense that like, why would he pick Ohio State? I'm like, I hate them with they stole a championship from us. You know what I'm saying? And I hate them with all that I am, but it's still Ohio State. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if he is going to sit behind, and who knows, we don't like everything that comes out is like, unless I hear that from them, it's very difficult for me to be like, oh, that's the gospel. He really demanded a starting spot, and so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
with since we've been in the ACC, right? We've been in the ACC since 2004.
Yep.
Right. We have a winning percentage.
That's a terrible way to say that.
56%, right? So we've won a little bit over half of our games in the conference. So we are 86-67 in the ACC. So we were brought over to the ACC to strengthen the conference, right?
Yep.
We've never won the ACC.
Not once.
Right. So teams who have won the ACC.
This is the press.
Clemson, Florida State, Pitt.
Yep.
Has North Carolina won the ACC?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Virginia Tech.
Yeah, I think Virginia Tech at the beginning of like Frank Beamer's first couple of years. Yeah.
Louisville.
Don't say disrespectful things. I mean, did they do it with Lamar Jackson?
ACC championship.
Yeah.
We've been to the ACC championship one time.
One time.
And I think we were supposed to go one other time, but somehow we had to forfeit that time, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Nevin Shapiro shit.
Right. So bowl games. We've been to 14 bowl games. How many you think we've won?
One.
Since 2004?
When the Russell Athletic Bowl was Virginia. Did we win that game on the blue turf? After that Duke? Did we win that game? I'm going off memory. Because we played a game in that blue turf in Boise. That was the year that with the Cornell crazy punt return. If I remember correctly.
What bowl was that? Do you remember? No, we didn't know. No.
I don't know.
No. So since 2004, we've won 3. We won the one in 2004. We won one in 2006. And of course, the Russell Athletic Bowl, where we looked the best we've looked in a bowl game.
Yeah. In those weird uniforms.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Like feathers or something.
So we've won 21% of bowl games since we've been in the ACC. Mm-hmm. A worse percentage than everybody in the conference.
Yep.
No one in the conference has looked as bad in bowl games as we have.
Nope. Always look bad. So shout out to Wikipedia. 2004, when Virginia Tech and Miami joined the conference, Virginia Tech won the conference.
Okay.
Virginia Tech won the conference in 2004. First year. Then Florida State won it. Wake Forest. Virginia Tech won it in
Wake Forest has won a championship.
Yep.
Okay.
What Wake Forest, Virginia Tech back to back, 2009 and vacated. Because Georgia Tech did some illegal shit. Virginia Tech won it basically three straight years. Then Florida State had their run with Jameis, 12, 13, and 14. Then Clemson all the way through to 21. So no, North Carolina actually has not won an ACC championship.
So Virginia Tech has
Back
three.
in 1980. Yeah, 1980 was North Carolina. Yeah. Virginia Tech they have four. They have 04, 07, 8, and 10. So they have 4 ACC championships.
Lord Jesus.
Yep.
So it's really not to be a downer. Like we're not that. Like I'm optimistic. I'm a positive person. You know what I mean? I'm just a realist. You know what I mean? I definitely, like we said prior to this, definitely feel that things could get turned around. Now, do I think it should take till 2025 to turn things around? That's a different conversation. You know what I mean? We'll touch on that another time. But the entitlement, the arrogance has to stop. Like, we need to be humbled, brother. Like, if we're not humbled now, like, when will that ever happen? Like, will we ever be humbled?
Okay, let me run through this, bro. Just from 04. From 04. When we joined the Virginia Tech, Florida State, Wake Forest, Virginia Tech vacated because Georgia Tech was doing illegal shit. Virginia Tech, Clemson, Florida State, Clemson, Pittsburgh, Clemson. Fam. And we say all the time, the ACC is not tough. It is not. But we have consistently, for the last 19 years, failed to live up to the expectations of just being good. 56%.
Just winning the Coastal, my guy.
Yeah.
The Coastal,
we haven't
the whack
it's not like those teams
ACC.
beat us. Yeah. Those teams. So what we're talking about here isn't, because we've been bad, Mario's not, Coach Cristobal isn't going to. No. What we're saying is, like, fam, like, we have to look at what this program is and what it's going to take to become something different. When you've lost for so long, it takes a while to learn how to win. You just don't learn how to win because you got one young man from Central and another one from Edison. It has to be the next guy from Central and the next guy from Central and the next guy from Heritage and the next guy from IMG and this guy. And it has to be depth. It can't be your starting line and then your next 5 are trash. Yes. That can't be. That can't be where you have to go into the portal again and again and again because you see, I don't want to say, you see your 7th guy on the depth chart should not even be in Power 5.
Sure.
But he's there because of either lazy recruiting or fuck it, we'll take him, or you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's why it's been such a hoarding of players that we're like, why are we taking this guy? Because there's the people that we have on aren't good. Like, there's no depth. We have to raise the floor. Like, it can't, like, we as a fan base, we know number 11, right? Corey Flagg fights his heart out to be on that field. So there can't be a reason why Corey Flagg doesn't get competition for that starting spot. That he needs to be pushed. That'll make Corey Flagg better. That'll make Malik Bryant, Popo Aguirre. You know what I'm saying? But see, that's me having to mention freshmen. I'm not mentioning a Chase Smith. I'm not mentioning, you know what I'm saying? Like, I shouldn't have to mention freshmen. People get on me all the time. Yo, man, you got to play the next man. Son, the next guy shouldn't be 17.
Yeah.
Like, he shouldn't just still be in high school. That's not, 2001 was not playing all freshmen because they were good. They went through their shit. Like, it's just we got to approach this shit humbly, man. Like when people turn us down, be like, you know what? It makes sense. Next man up. And you know what you do? You support the ones that are here. You support a Branson Dean, Thomas Gore, and hope they ball the fuck out. Because if that's who we rocking with, that's who we rocking with. I told y'all from the beginning, man, this is what it's about. It ain't about nothing else. This is it.
Yes.
This is it, man. Like
it don't matter who got the uniform on, man.
It doesn't, man. And you know what, man? I give a lot of credit to the young men that committed in the face of what was coming. You know what I'm saying? Like Thomas Gore coming from a Georgia State, people he knows people are gonna be like, the fuck is a Georgia State? But he's like, yo, man, I'm gonna show you what the fuck a Georgia State is. You know what I'm saying? Ruben Bain out of a 5-7, legendary 5-star, could have gone anywhere in the country. He chose us. Like, you gotta root for the people who are willing to take that battle, because this shit ain't easy. You see how toxic this fan base can be. Off of one guy because they thought we shouldn't get him. Like, absolutely, fam, y'all gotta take a
and the young men across the country are very influential, man. You want to play with dogs. If you a dog, you want to play with dogs. You know what I mean? So when you hear when you people who are into recruiting and into high school football, you hear the words on the street. You hear what is being said about programs. You know what I mean? So if I'm a dog and I've been offered by everybody, and my top 3 is Alabama, Ohio State, and Miami. Like, you hear the words like, why Miami? Like, why would you do that? I mean, you don't want to win. Like, what? You know what I mean? Like, you hear that. You hear that. And listen, man, Coach Cristobal, like we said again, Coach Cristobal, I have no doubt about his recruiting prowess. I don't. I don't have any doubt about his recruiting prowess. But when I get hit up on Twitter, yo, why you worried about recruiting? You know Mario gonna get. You seen what he did after 5-7. Let there be another 5-7. If there's another 5-7, you come to me with that. You know what he did, shit.
Yeah,
we'll see what happens if there's another 5-7. Son.
Yeah, you'll be blocked. Like, we'll be blocked by then. Yeah, fam. I know.
If you really think if there's another 5-7, if there's another 6-6, if we improve, let's say we go 7-5, but Florida State does to us what they did last year. We lose to Clemson. Clemson does the same thing. We lose to a smaller school. Boston College. Miami of Ohio, first game. You know what I mean? We have a slip up and we lose.
Because we're looking ahead of A&M.
Facts. Facts. You know what I mean? Not saying this is going to happen, but if that happens, we still confident. We still talking about, hey, Coach Cristobal is going to recruit. He going to get who he want. Come on, man.
But the other question is, like, how are the like, there's a reason why we're in a lot of people's top 5 and top 8s, right?
Sure.
First of all, I don't know how you make a decision for, like, I also don't understand, like, the 11, 8 to 5. Like, you know you're 5. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not going to go back to all those, like, whatever. That's, leave it up to young men. That's let them rock how they want to rock. But there's a reason why the big name trench guys are there's a lot of players waiting, man. There's a lot of pressure on this season. There's a lot. Like, this season is, like, David Stone got all his graphics of Oklahoma, but there's no graphic of him committing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that hasn't come out yet. Like, if he's gonna be like that already should have been done. Like, I'm locking it down, and I'm gonna be the could be a thing that's waiting, but it's not out there as of this recording. Yeah. There's a lot of young men that are waiting to see what Miami does.
Fam, because that's the main thing, son. Like, who's not? You don't think, like you just mentioned, a lot of top 8s, a lot of top 5s have Miami in it. You don't think they're in wait and see mode, man?
Yep.
You don't think they want to see what's going on, man?
Yep. Yeah. They have like they have the relationship. Listen, man, like the coaches on staff, the recruiting staff, the you know what I'm saying, all of them are working their asses off, man. Like they're working harder than we can even imagine. So this is not a knock on them, but
they working.
Yeah, they don't sleep. They don't sleep. Like Mario is up. Period. Like he's just ready. More coffee than CB.
Yep.
Fam, like, but unless you show me the numbers on the field, these young, like, you could tell them anything you want to tell them, man. Unless when they see a Ruben Bain ball out, a Wesley, a Nigelique, you know what I'm saying? Maybe if Collins gets in there, but I think he's hurt and trying, you know what I'm saying? Like any Jaden Wayne, a Jaden Wayne,
Ray,
you know what I'm saying? A Ray, a Josh Horton, an Almon Moten, who's my sleeper. Son, like I'm rocking with Almon this year. You know what I'm saying? A Jafar Harvey, JAH, you know what I'm saying? A LT, like if they need to improve from last year and they need to have some fight, like there has to be a lot of pressure on these players to perform and not fold like they've done.
Sure.
Right? But that has to, like, there's an onus on these players that you want to get paid for your performance and for your likeness and all these things. Now we need you to perform for your likeness, sure, and all that and the bag. You need to show up now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to see LT off the field anymore. I don't think Gidry's going to do that. You know what I'm saying? He's going to ball them out. But they need to fight. Like, I don't know what the numbers are going to be as far as wins and losses. We'll get into that in later podcasts, but this 5-7 can't happen again. You've seen it, man. Like, look, we've gone through. Let's go down the coaches, Joe. Randy Shannon, Al Golden, Mark Richt, Manny Diaz, and now Mario Cristobal. That's leaving Larry Coker out because he won the national championship. You know what I'm saying? And he was good for what he needed to do. Shout out to Larry Coker. Even though the whole Butchers thing, you still have to win. Like, it's not like, you know what I'm saying? So that's a lot of coaches, that's a lot of different staffs, a lot of different mentalities, a lot of different things, and a lot of different ways to fail. And they've all happened. You forget the Never Shapiro shit where we lost scholarships. Yep. Negative recruiting on top of negative recruiting from all that. Oh man, why would you want to go to Miami? Yep. Like, there's a lot of things we have to fight up against to then us as fans be like, man, why wouldn't you want to come here? Fam, like, take it into context. Like, why? Like, everything. Like, it's hard to convince one person. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that person got parents. You know what I'm saying? Like, and like, yo, man, Miami, when Ohio State wants you, why would you do? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the things you're battling against. And there's money now, fam. Like, it's crazy.
It's a lot, man. And things take time. You know, things take time. Like, I'm definitely not saying this year. I mean, I'm cocky in my own. Like, I feel like, fuck it, we going 12-0 every year. Like, fuck, you know. Yeah. But
I'm also that irrational fan sometimes too. Yeah.
Facts. But again, the way I feel about the ACC, like, we all watch football, man. Like, the way I feel about the conference, I don't see why in this conference, in the ACC, we should not be competing for the championship every year. Like, I don't see why.
And that's gone now. There's no
and
more.
That's gone. There's no more sides. You know what I mean?
Nope.
So if we're looking at our schedule, which we're not going to do yet, we'll break that down. We'll start Sunday breaking that down. But you know, talent depth is an issue. Like, we know we have to be real. We know that. But talent wise, it's here, man. And we got a lot of people who didn't play, a lot of people who's waiting, who's healing up, who will be back in the summer. Like, the combination of young and experienced is getting there. It's getting there, no doubt. I have no doubt about it, man. But the point is, let's relax, people. Let's relax, man. We're not supposed to get nobody. We're not supposed to get anybody.
Fam, we're not entitled to shit. We ain't entitled to nothing.
Fam.
Nothing.
No, we're not. We cannot recruit a player on November 1st and bag him on early signing day. We don't have it like that. An elite player.
No, we don't.
I'm not saying somebody who has offers from, Power Five, a bunch of group of fives, you know what I mean? And he's just, an elite player who's chilling. You know what I mean? We can't do that currently. We can't do that. Alabama, Ohio State can do that. And the young man will say, we've developed a relationship with the coach. Nah, son. You just met him the other day. What is you talking about?
Yeah, there's no relationship there.
No.
You just said hi. Yeah.
Yes.
No, nothing.
You know what I mean? But we're not there yet. We're not there yet. Relax, son. Yep. Don't come at me, because I want to see it. Yes, I want to see it, fam. I want to see it. If I have to point out something, 5-7 last year, I didn't like how things looked, man. I understand injuries. I understand people saying culture, whatever. But any coach that goes into a situation goes into that situation knowing what's going on.
Yep.
They have to coach the people in the building. I don't care. Like that's your job.
Yep.
That's your job. You got to coach the people in the building.
Regardless
of who's in the building. Yeah. Coach is coach.
Coach. Yeah. Yeah.
Coach is coach. You know what I mean? You got to get them ready to play every week. You have to. And they weren't.
Right. I got a question for you. Yes. I got a question for you.
Yes.
There was a lot of negativity in the the coordinators we hired, right? Because they're coming from a G5, yada yada yada.
Oh, sure.
Those G5s, you coach to the talent you have. Those G5s performed really, really well.
Facts.
Right, like that offense and that defense. Because so, if you're saying that if we always go with like Miami has the talent and the people who cape up for Manny, but he had the talent, yada yada. If those guys then now went to the G5 and that's the they should have performed better. Like we had some hella coaches last year. So the failure of last year was mind-blowing, right? Because if you can coach P5, you can coach. If you can coach P5, you can coach some G5 talent players, right? Like you should be able to get their numbers up. Sure. You should be able, like you them guys, like you like the Hall of Fame, the Avengers staff, and you couldn't do it. Like that's.
Well, my thought on that, and we talked about it before, is just that I think the P5 coaches, the experienced coaches we had, sometimes they're used to coaching 5 stars, man. You know what I mean? They really, not saying they don't have to work. Of course,
but you're saying they don't have to work to that level.
Yeah, you scheme it up, and they 5 stars, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a lot easier to scheme it up when you got a bunch of Einsteins.
Yeah,
as opposed
it's
to
a lot easier to scheme up when you're up 24-0. You know what I mean? And you've made the team one-dimensional. It's a lot easier to scheme up. These G5, like shitting on a G5 coach is insane. Like that shit is insane, especially at the coordinator.
They're working harder.
Especially at the coordinator position, man. And the offensive coordinator position, in my opinion, specifically, because them dudes be coming up with some shit. Like them old coordinators' schemes are crazy, man. And Coach Guidry, man, like I said, on defense, I've seen what he could do. You know what I mean? So that's just crazy to me. You know what I mean? Every coach started somewhere.
Yeah.
Where did Urban Meyer come from?
Youngstown. Wasn't that Youngstown State?
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Look, man.
It's
I think I don't know the latest with Kiwi Rose. I don't know if we got any more news on that. I don't know. There's like the little bit of smoke to Arkansas. You know what I'm saying? Yada yada. That's fine. But you know what I'm saying? Salute wherever he goes, man. Do whatever you want to do. But fam, like we have to wait and see with these coaches, man. Like they might be able to scheme up some shit with their quote unquote undersized D tackles, you know what I'm saying, that could do some shit that we hadn't thought of, because our view of what Mario's done is basing off of what all his coaches did from last year, right?
Sure.
We don't know what these coordinators and these coaches, because basically the whole staff's new, right? Besides Jamila Dye and Mirabal, I think the whole staff is new, right?
And
Rod Wright is gone.
That's another
Salavea?
That's another kind of gripe of mine when you talk about a head coach. We're talking about Coach Cristobal, we're talking about Miami, but when you talk about a head coach, period. So most head coaches have a specialty, right? They're offensive or defensive head coaches. Lane Kiffin is an offensive coordinator. So if his offense looks shitty, we can kind of point to Lane Kiffin and be like, yo, that offense looks shitty. Coach Cristobal does not coach a side of the ball. He coaches the O-line.
Trenches.
He's an O-line coach.
Yep.
Did the O-line look bad last year? Yes. But we kind of know why. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Coach Cristobal hires coordinators.
Yep.
He needs to knock those hires out of the park because he's not a coordinator. You know what I mean? So he has to have an offensive coordinator and a defensive coordinator that know what they're doing.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So if you want to blame him for making the wrong hires, sure, but nobody was beefing because he hired the coaches he hired last year. Nobody was beefing about that. There may have been some questions, but nobody was beefing about that. So Coach Cristobal, and we could talk about, I don't know, the game day, the timeouts in the wrong places or whatever. Yeah, we could talk about that. But as far as scheming up an offense, scheming up a defense,
that's not his thing.
That's not him, son. So why would that be the focus of the blame? I know he's the head man. He's the CEO. Right. So the CEO's gonna get that. And he should, in my opinion. But
I think the perspective, like I got you with your context and what you're saying. Like he's a trenches coach, right? Like, and you saw he's like, oh, this O-line's terrible. Let me go ahead and get the baddest motherfuckers on the planet. Let me go ahead and get future. You know what I'm saying? Let me go get my goal. Let me go get Samson. Let me go get Tenelau. Let me go get Juan Minaya. Let me go get, you know what I'm saying? Name them. Name them. Yeah, Kinsler. Let me go get Matt Lee. Let me go get a JV. You know what I'm saying? Like, sound like you don't leave Alabama for fun. Like, you don't leave Alabama to go fuck around. Like, you leave there because you go, okay, these are different. Like, they're making me a priority.
Yeah. And
he's like, no, we're gonna get this shit right. So I think why people blame him for, look, he made the hires, but when that's revisionist history, right? Because when they were hired, wasn't nobody really mad. Like, you had a couple questions, like, oh, I wonder what Gaddis's, you know what I'm saying?
Gaddis was the main question. Gaddis was the main question for me specifically. Definitely. Yeah.
With Kevin Steele was like, oh, this guy's fucking been doing this for 150 years.
I was ecstatic with Kevin Steele.
Yeah. Yes. Charlie Strong is linebackers coach.
Ecstatic.
Shit, let's go. You know what I'm saying? You weren't ready. That's why last year was what it was. We already know it. But I think when you make those hires, there's a lot of people who felt some kind of way the way the previous coach was let go, so they carry that over. And that's not just one specific person. There are people who feel, you know what I'm saying, he deserved better, yada, yada. So they carry that perspective and that baggage with them, with their views, right? Again, I tell y'all all the fucking time, I'm a Canes fan. Like, I don't care who we win with as long as we win, but we haven't been doing much winning. You know what I mean? Like, let's keep it all the way a buck. So I think that's the perspective. And like, if Mario is a bad coach in your eyes, right? If you know, or whatever, or game day and all this other shit, the things you want to nitpick on what he's not good at. He's human. You know what I'm saying we all fuck up.
Mm.
He recognized the O-line was terrible, went and got depth at every position. We're better now than we were last year. Hopefully we don't have all those injuries, because there's still some. When you go to like the 8th and 9th guy, I have just questions, but that's the 8th and 9th.
Sure.
And that'll be turned over, right? So that's the things we have to look at. And going forward, I'm with you, man. I know he's obsessed more than every person who's ever tweeted anything negative about the Hurricane. You know what I'm saying? Like, as mad as you are, he's way more upset. Because, fam, he really wore this shit. Like, he bled for this uniform on Green Tree. He fought, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a different perspective. So you have to give him time. And turning the roster over and getting the depth and getting the culture, all the things you want to add into, takes time. But this, and it goes back to what we said, this entitlement thing of saying, "Oh fuck it, we don't need him." Fam, like, there's a reason why the staff wanted him, but the young man made a decision. Just because those days of Schnellenberger walking into your room with a cigar are long gone, fam.
Yeah,
long gone.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. And if we, you know, if we're looking at optimism, you know, like you just said, he brought in an O-line. He addressed the O-line out the gate, and he addressed it well. You know what I mean? There's no doubt about that. The coaching staff, he addressed it. He addressed it. It wasn't right. He made the necessary changes. That's all we can ask for. I mean, that's what I'm asking for, definitely. He's trying to address the defensive trenches, defensive side. You know what I mean? Listen, man, he's going to address what needs to be addressed, and that's optimism that I have. Like, he ain't going to sit back and just let it rock. No, not going to do that. So I'm good with it. But fans, we love y'all. You know, we all came family. Chill out, son. Relax. Sit down.
Yeah, man.
Watch your Miami Heat. Do the thing. And then chill out.
That's right.
Relax.
And the Florida Panthers. Shout out to Miami's having a moment in sports.
Whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't really. I've been to one game in my life. Look, man. We trying to have different conversations. Y'all look, we listen to all the pods y'all listen to, man. But you know what I'm saying? We fan-sided over here. We're trying to have conversations that are a little bit uncomfortable but honest. And yeah, man, this was before we started recording. You're running through the percentages and reading the ACC champions hurt. Like, seeing Virginia Tech on there that many times was crazy.
There's no reason for that. Like, there's no every time if we go back, if we pulled up the recruiting for the ACC year by year, we're always top 3, usually behind Clemson. Clemson 1, Miami 2, most of the time.
Absolutely.
What are we doing?
I have no idea.
What are we doing?
It's like that missing, like, it's like that. There's like something missing in the recipe to get everything clicking, and that's just been like a thing for the last 20 years. I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's a specific kind of player, a specific kind of coach, because sometimes there's a coach on staff that might not necessarily be your head coach or a player. That's that thing, that spark. They were like, all right, man, let's click, let's go, let's work. You know what I'm saying? So it just hopefully that person's on staff. Hope maybe that's KK5, man. You know what I mean? He called out. He did something that I've been waiting for forever last year at that final press conference, man. Yeah, we ain't got no questions because I didn't even like bother asking no questions because I knew we were gonna talk. So we just needed our air to breathe and let air it all out, man. But yeah, man.
No doubt.
Yo, man, welcome to those new Canes. Got one winner. We have no reviews as of yet, so we just picking one, man. Shout out to Cube, man, on YouTube. You're our winner for today's podcast, man. Just
Cube,
one winner.
like CUBE?
CUBE, yeah. Cube. That's it.
All right.
Cube. Yeah, man. Cool. We're making it happen, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's get into this Caneswear ad and get up out of here.
Caneswear.
Caneswear.
Welcome to Caneswear. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has all latest merchandise for the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Inter Miami Soccer, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of I-595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Hey, man, before we talk about Caneswear, shout out to Caneswear, man. That's the family. Hey, Poke Kane, man. I know you listen to the show. I know you watch. Fam, just get all the hats. What are we doing here? Just get all of them. Like, why are you wasting time? Like, he's putting up on Twitter, yo, man, which hat should I get? All of them, bro. Like, just do it one time and then you're done.
Put them in the cart, man.
Yeah, put them in the car. Get them on, man. Caneswear got it all the shit.
I know you got mad discount codes or something, man.
Yeah, man, you out here winning, man. Get out of here trying to which one? All, son. All is D, son. All of the above. I got out of here. What you talking about? Hey, man.
Sunday, we're gonna start to dive into a little bit of the season, man, and talk about, you know, what we think is going on this season, what we think is gonna happen, you know.
I'm wondering, I'm just looking at might be off on my days. Are we 11 weeks away from the start of the season? Because that'd be dope. Because we gotta, how many weeks away are we? No, I think it's the second.
The first game is it the
first week in
September?
It's September 1st.
That's a Friday night.
Friday night game against Miami of Ohio. Yep,
it is. Okay.
Friday night game is trash, son. Against a team who probably wants to beat us because they think they're the only Miami. Fuck out of here. Yeah, we're the only. I can see the tweets that week. We're the only Miami that matters. Man. Fuck out of here, man. No, nobody knows you exist.
I think way more than 12. I feel like it's like 15 weeks, 16 weeks.
All right. So every Sunday we're gonna break down one of the games, and then I think.
Yeah. So I think we're gonna start that. We'll figure it out, man. We'll figure it out,
man. Man, listen, man. Look, I'm gonna give y'all the keyword, man. For this week's episode, it's entitlement, fam. You know what I mean? It's entitlement.
That was already in my head.
If you don't know how to spell it, you know what I'm saying, your autocorrect will help you out with it.
Give it your best shot, man.
Yeah, man, give it your best shot. You already know. But let me ask you, man, before we get up out of here, man, do you think it's a entitlement versus expectations? You know how we always talk about the expectations, like how we said, like, I think every year we're gonna go into the season 12-0 because we're Miami and all this shit. Do you think a lot of it is that perspective and that lens, where we're like, yo, we're gonna beat everybody?
Yeah, I think you know what I do think? I think that we've been told that we're not supposed to expect to be good. After last year, I think what I've seen, what I've heard, I'm calling that everybody. What I've heard is we're not the expectation. We have to lower the bar.
Yep.
We're only a 7, 6, 7, 8 win team.
Oh yeah, you really can't.
We're not supposed to be good until 2024, 2025. I personally don't believe that. That's that's bullshit to me. You know what I mean? But because we've been force-fed that, I don't think it's an expectation thing. I do think it's an entitlement thing.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Yeah, I hear those same podcasts of people saying that. And
that's all I hear now. That's all I hear.
Yeah, it's
everybody's echoing that. Yeah, we're only, we're not supposed to, we're only a 7-win team. Our talent is 7-win. No, it's not. No,
we gotta think now. And it's not like we're doing it. It's not the thing that we're like, oh, we're Miami. It's like it's the opponents we're playing. You know what I'm saying? Like it should not be like it's like, look, no disrespect for fuck all of them. You know what I mean? Like Every single one. Like, just you know what? With all disrespect. Fuck
yes,
every
we have
single one of them.
we have new coordinators, a new system. That shit happens every day, B.
Facts.
New coordinators get hired every day, B.
Facts.
You tough,
they move
right?
on.
Yeah,
Get
you
new
tough,
ones.
right? Yeah.
Talk that talk, man.
That happens.
Entitlement versus expectations, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy, fam. Crazy.
All right, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Tuning in to another one. CB. Come on, man. We don't scare over here, son.
Nah, man. Now you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure you'll let us know what you thought of the show, man. We keep it a buck over here, man. We have some real conversations, man. Hey, man, you know what it is, man. Look, man, we're available wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you leave us reviews, 5 stars on Spotify, reviews on Apple Podcasts, man. It helps us grow. You know what I'm saying? People coming into our lane, man, and we with it, man. You know what I'm saying? We love it's not competition because we all rock with each other. We're all Canes creators, man. You know what I'm saying? Love the content, love the different perspectives, man. They give us topics to think about and talk about, man. So we appreciate all of y'all, man. So yeah, man. We out of here, man.
Yeah,
you know what it is, man.
Yet?
Huh? Nah, 798 still. No, we got 798.
Come on, man. Come on. We need 2 to get to 800. Come on, stop it.
Dose. Just like fuck it. Look, create 2 more emails and just hit that 2.
Stop it. Come on.
You know what I'm saying? We working out here, man. You see what it is, man.
Man.
All right, guys. We up out of here, man. It's that You Heard podcast.
All about it, man.
Peace.
All about it.